All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live in the living color. Welcome to another fantastic episode of This Week In Reselling. We're having a little help with my friends. Here we'll disguise the highs and lows of reselling and dive into great conversation, and we are positive that you're going to hear something that's going to help you become a better reseller. I am your host, Ray, and I am joined by two of the best co-hosts of all the land.
Ooh,
Brendan, Big Time Flips.
Convict.
There we go. We got Joe with I'd Flip That. And our guest for today, guys, we have none other than one of my favorite guests. Constantly, we have him all the time.
Hey,
there you go. Jimmy Old School Flips with the sign. You just
list perfectly.
Those list perfectly things.
The only thing that I had sitting here was that
notepad. That's great. So, guys, if you don't know Jimmy, you know, Old School Flips YouTube channel. He's a co-host for another podcast called Reseller Leftover Podcast. Go make sure to go check that out as well. But Jimmy, if the people may not know you by now, give us a little brief intro on Jimmy Old School Flips.
I'm a troublemaker. I'm always stirring the pot. I'm always trying to cause problems in the community. That's what I do. That's my reputation. So if you don't like it, you probably shouldn't follow me.
Oh, so we got like the bad boy.
Yeah, I'm the bad boy of reselling, but I just run my mouth all the time. You know?
All facts.
No, Jimmy Old School Flips. I'm a heavy breathing YouTuber. I was told today on my YouTube.
Oh, wow.
I breathe, and I know I edit the videos. I hate myself every time I edit it. I'm yelling at myself like, "Close your mouth, big guy."
That is tough.
So, go check out Old School Flips YouTube channel if you like to watch a bigger guy go yard selling and breathing heavy.
You should edit one of your videos so it's all breaths, like all heavy breaths.
Yeah, like an ASMR.
You don't even talk about what you're finding.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you enjoy a yard sale video with Darth Vader picking, you would like my videos.
If you enjoy breathing, watch Jimmy's videos.
There you go, Jimmy. Just start wearing a Darth Vader costume, and it just fits right in with.
Yeah, that's actually good. I mean, that's basic. No, but that's who I am. I like to joke around, have fun. I'll pick on myself. I ain't scared. Like, that's what my channel. Like, you'll hear me telling jokes while I'm out picking and stuff. So, and having fun. That's who I try to be. Sometimes it's difficult, but whatever.
Yeah, I feel like you've been killing it on those highway sales.
Like, I did great. I did great at one. Yeah, I do.
What's the last highway sale you've been to, Jimmy?
The last one I went to was Highway 30 out here. Right, that one runs right through my town, actually.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
That one I found some bobbleheads, some vintage bobbleheads. It's like a $300 set. It's called the Kiss Me. It's a football player and a cheerleader, I believe, and the cheerleader's magnet lips kiss the football player on the cheek.
Nice.
I haven't sold it yet, but I listed it for over 300, and they regularly sell for over 300. It's called the Kiss Me bobbleheads or something like that. So that was
I've never heard of that.
$10 for the set, so that was crazy.
So it's like just a man and a woman.
Yeah,
definitely it right here.
That's comparable, but maybe if you do football, it's usually like a cheerleader looking character. Yeah, like that one right down there. That's what it's like right there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What are they made out of?
I don't know. They're not like, I don't know. I have to go grab it. I'm not 100%. I don't know if they're
like ceramic. They look like they're ceramic.
They probably are ceramic. I don't remember.
That's why I asked, because they look fragile.
Yeah, so they made teams. Like you can find them. Like there's the Rams. Mine looks more like a Purdue. Like it's not quite Notre Dame. That's what mine looks like right there on the. But anyways, yeah, that was an amazing find. When I saw them, I knew right away to look for them. I knew about them. Mm-hmm. It's the first time I've ever found them. And I saw that set, and I was like, how much for the bobblehead? She's all $10 for both. I was like, here's your $10. I'm out of here. Like, I couldn't even believe it.
Yeah, get out of there quick as you can.
Yeah, that was that. So that's cool. Sorry, I kind of went on a story.
No, this is good. This is stuff that's going to help you become a better reseller.
Never heard of them.
Kiss bobbleheads.
I love bobbleheads. I sell a lot of bobbleheads. Bobbleheads, to me, the thing to look for is the obscure and different stuff. Usually the players don't do as good as, like, say, the mascots. I've sold like Home Depot employee, like CEO bobbleheads. I've sold announcer, like sports announcer bobbleheads do really well. It's usually the obscure different stuff if you're looking into the more modern bobbleheads.
I feel like if in Home Depot CEO can get their own bobblehead, we should have our own bobbleheads.
Yeah, for sure. I think
And-
Ray has his own bobblehead. Don't you have your
Do
own
I?
bobblehead, Ray?
No,
And
I don't
let's-
think so. But I think this, Joe, is this not you and Nicole right here on this one?
What, where?
Oh, so what are
Right
you
here,
talking
hold
I
about?
see it.
Yeah, all I see is half a bobblehead right now.
Yeah, that's all I see too.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to pull it up. Give me a sec. Sorry. Open image, a new tab. Here we go.
Man, I would put that on
Right
Etsy
there.
real fast. Yeah, that is. Yeah,
That's you, Joe.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's Nicole.
It
Oh,
is.
that's the Steelers one. That's awesome. Yeah, so that's probably worth a lot of money right there.
Yeah.
That
Really
one's,
good.
that one's
He's got
unique.
your rosy cheeks. And
Yeah,
everything.
Joe, you just need to put blush in your cheeks for the next show.
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay.
FYI.
Do you think if
What-
you took the hat off, he'd be rocking the no hair too, like Joe?
Probably.
Has to.
Probably.
You know what's funny? Speaking of bobbleheads, you know, like the Funko Pops, some of them you notice that are bobbleheads and some of them are just regular Funko Pops.
Mhm.
Yep.
And the reason why, like, for instance, like whenever you find a Star Wars Funko Pop, it's a bobblehead because Hasbro owns the rights to all the Star Wars toys. So for them to like
Oh, they can't
be able
sell
to
it.
print them, they have to be considered as like collectibles and be a bobblehead instead of a neck, like a toy.
Oh, so you're saying because this is a sensitive subject about toys
And it-
versus
and-
other
and
products
it has
for
to
me.
be on a stand. So, for instance, all the Star Wars bobbleheads are on the stands, and all the Funko Star Wars are on
Oh.
stands, and they're bobbleheads.
Now that's something that's interesting that I had no idea
Mhm.
about.
Because Hasbro
Yeah, you
owns the
have-
rights to the
action
action, figures, for the
yep.
toys, and this is not considered a toy, but like collectible.
Interesting.
So, mhm.
How many do you have back on that shelf over there, Ray?
Yeah, right.
What's that?
Bobbleheads. How many do you have over there on that shelf?
Well, the only legitimate bobblehead that I have that it's not like a Funko Pop is this one.
And it's not even in the picture. Oh, okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Kirby Pocket.
Dude, Kirby Puckett was
I
a
bought this from you,
machine.
Joe.
I was gonna say, I think I had that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a guy that was a little bit bigger, not only was he a great hitter, he was a great fielder too, man.
Right?
Yeah.
I loved Kirby Pocket back
I'm
then.
going way back, but man, I remember
Yeah. So that's
good
the
old
only-
Kirby.
I even have a Jabba the Hutt that's a bobblehead.
How did they turn
That's a-
Jabba into a bobblehead?
He doesn't even have a neck.
Yeah, he doesn't have a neck.
That's a
He's just a slug.
Right.
I mean, are you talking about me or are you talking about Jabba?
No, Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt.
See, look, he's got a neck.
See,
Oh yeah.
Jimmy, the
He's
next
not on
time.
a
even-
stand. Did he come with a stand that goes below him?
look,
Yeah.
Who is that?
That's Princess Leia.
Princess
Is
Leia,
it? I
Slave
can't-
Leia.
I can't even. Oh yeah, I can see it now. I couldn't see it because of the ponytail. I
But
couldn't
it
see
did come with the stand, but I lost the stand. This is actually worth pretty good money if it had everything. It came with like his throne or whatever, the thing that he lays on.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you still have it, you want to see my most expensive Funko Pop, Jimmy?
As long as we're showing them off, let's
I
go.
don't have
Yeah.
any Funko Pops.
Joe, or not Joe. Ray has $70,000 on that shelf back there.
Yeah, easy.
Ooh, fire!
Michael Jackson. Oh, they're
He's
both
a smooth criminal.
Yeah, I like those.
This is
I like
before
those.
they quit making a bunch of Michael Jackson Funkos. I think they're starting again, but it's these are worth a pretty penny.
They don't have him as the zombie.
No,
Man,
the third ever Disney Funko Pop.
Now, okay, there was a Woody that came out that had a blue label or a red label, right? You know about that one?
Yeah,
I found Sonia. I'm sorry, Sonia found the rare one. I think the red label was the rare one, right?
The blue one.
The blue one's the rare one. All right,
Yeah.
she found it.
So
I don't
these
know.
are the original Disney sets, Funko Pops. Those are the one.
You should put those on Whatnot for $1 starts.
Yeah, right.
Original 12.
1 through 12. Yeah. Series 1.
Yeah. Wow.
I got Generation 1 Transformers over here if you want to
I
look
was
at that.
gonna say, Jimmy, what's your
Are you,
highest possession or most expensive possession?
I don't know. This right here is a Gen 1
Oh, yeah.
Jetstorm.
Yeah,
Big box. That's worth close to 2,000.
wow.
And then I got a Gen 1 right here. That's a Gen 1 Megatron right there.
That's cool.
I had pieces of that, and it sold for close to $70.
in package?
Just the pieces, dude?
Just pieces. Yeah.
And then that's a Gen 1 Soundwave.
Oh.
So I got
So
all those
For the
shit.
people that are listening, Jimmy's showing off his Generation 1 Transformer collection and in box.
Jimmy,
Right,
pull your
Jimmy?
mic back up now. Okay.
Where did you come up with that? Where did you find those?
There was a guy here in my town that sold his entire collection to me.
Oh,
Wow.
I got a really good deal on it. Yeah.
how
You
many-
got a really good deal on it.
Yeah, I got it. I mean, it was expensive, but I didn't even. If that one, I think is that one you can find for over 2,000. I paid less than that for it. So
For everything?
and I got those three. I got this one right here in the box. I got this mail-in one. It's a camera that you had to mail in to get.
Oh, that's
I got
dope.
all the jets across the top. I got all the Decepticon jets across the top. Yeah, I got a huge. Anyway, I could go on and on about Transformers.
Did you
How many items were there in the buy?
I don't remember exactly. It was over 20.
Okay.
so you keep all of it or did you sell some of it?
I kept it all. Oh,
Oh,
I
you
got
did you?
favorite.
That's
my
his
second
retirement
favorite
right
one.
there.
Man.
Right here, I got a G1 little Bumblebee that was in there.
That's dope. That transforms?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not transforming it though. That's Bumblebee.
So, Joe, you said you
That come
sold.
out.
Oh, that's dope. You said you sold pieces of the Megatron for how much?
Probably like $70. And it was just like, there was so many, it was just barely, you could tell it was a gun. And then all of a sudden I did a Google image and I was like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. This is okay. Well,
It is a fluctuating market, so like it just seems like month by month the prices change. So I could be, I don't even check
Yeah.
them anymore because I'm keeping these suckers for
Mm-hmm.
forever.
Joe-
Can we ask how much you spent on the buy?
I think I paid $1,800 for it.
That's
For
worth
everything.
it.
Yeah.
I would have done
For
that
me
all day.
because it's my favorite toys as a kid. I'm keeping them
Right.
all
Right.
I
Yeah.
have
100%. Like
That's an easy yes.
yeah.
Joe-
I could sell Jetfire and make that money back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then you'd be
Man.
crying because it's gone.
I would cry every
Yes.
night. Yeah, I would be.
Did he know? Did he know what his collection was worth?
I don't. You know, it was weird because I communicated with him, but when I went to pick it up, it was his wife and his kids that met me. So,
Hmm.
and the first thing, I never even got to see him in person, really. But I know I was communicating with him. I was not. He knew quite a bit. It was interesting.
maybe he's Brendan's cellmate. He's in jail and needs the
Oh,
money.
Why are you in
Yeah.
a cell, Brendan?
It's for a various slew of crimes that I cannot disclose right now.
I got you.
They're still
The
figuring
verdict is still
out.
out.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
logistics.
I got a lot of time left on my bid. Just let me say that.
Yeah.
We don't want to. We don't want to ruin his.
I wake up, my day's already ruined because I'm in this 8x10.
That's great. I heard that food in there is pretty bad. Do you like make your own little meals? Like I know you can make like your own little ramen meals and stuff in there.
Oh yeah, you gotta improvise.
Joe,
Why are we
that's
looking
you,
at-
bro.
I'm gonna send a picture of this to Nicole.
Joe doesn't have buck teeth though.
Should go find those balls.
I mean, if he smiled,
No, he don't have buck teeth.
see,
Yeah, it's not like that. Don't smile like that.
I don't,
So Joe, you don't have a shelf of toys like the other two? Like
no, I don't. I don't have a. I do have a few shelves of Jurassic Parks, but
oh, that's cool. Like vintage Jurassic Park.
some of them are, and then some are the newer ones. But but otherwise, I did have, like what Jimmy did, I had a huge transformer buy probably 4 years ago now, 3 years ago. And I went and this guy just had just tubs, but they weren't in any boxes. And some were the G1s, some were the 90s, some were the 2000s. And he had them all in baggies and they were like $10 or $5 or $20.
Right.
And of course, the guy that was selling them, I don't know if he was living with his parents or what, but he wasn't home. And I told the guy and the lady, and I'm like, how much for all of these? And she's like, well, we'll give you your number. We'll get your number or whatever. And I'm like, okay, sure. The guy calls me back later that day. And he's like, all right, I was thinking probably 175. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I go, how many items do you think there are? And he's like, there's at least 110 different transformers. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But, and another reseller that used to live in my town stopped at that same sale. He had tons of the anime books. That I should have bought those because that guy bought all of them because they go, oh, the Transformers are already taken because he was going to buy those as well. But he made tons of money. But I turned that 175 into an easy $2,000. Easy.
Yeah, Transformers,
nice.
modern or old, across the board. They, as long as they're not the cheapy little kid ones, Transformers are worth money. It doesn't really matter what generation.
Yep.
Anytime we go to the Amazon bins, we find at least every month like a good Transformer, and my brother-in-law usually like keeps it because he's got like a collection. But they're all like the new stuff. Last Christmas we would go to do you guys have an Ollie's? Like an Ollie's dirt cheap?
Yeah. So where I'm at right now, like I said, I'm right by the post office. Ollie's is right next door to.
Yeah.
You gotta get that stuff smuggled in or what?
Yeah. Got to. So
the Ollie's last year here during Christmas time, they had all the they redid like the Beast Wars. They So like the Megatron and then the Optimus Primal and like the Scorponok, like all those they had like tons of them. I didn't think anything about it, I said, I'm not gonna get any of these. But later on, especially like when Whatnot was starting to get hot, I'm like, man, I wish I would have bought a bunch of those Transformers.
Just give them a couple. Honestly, just give them like 4 years, and they're gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some, so I have some of these from. They had the Netflix. Where's that one? They had the Netflix
the
series. The War for Cybertron or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought all those when they had them. That was like 3 years ago. I have the Optimus Prime. He's already like tripled in value, like just from having it for. I bought it at Walmart, off the shelf, and I held on to. Where did he have it? I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same as like wrestling action figures, like those Elites and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which, speaking of wrestling, Brendan got to go to Monday Night Raw yesterday.
I did.
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So
did
they end up taping the I did see something. They ended up taping like the Thanksgiving episode or something. Right?
Yeah, they did 2 episodes. So like, I basically I bought them like I bought the tickets like 3 hours before the show.
Wow.
And so I paid $46 for a seat for 2 shows, and you can't beat that.
So it was 4 hours long?
Well, no, because they didn't do like the commercial breaks for the second one because it's taped, so it was shorter. So I was out by like probably 10:30.
Yeah. Well, I know they usually last time I went to Raw or was SmackDown, after the show ends, they have all those dark matches, and there was probably like 3 or 4 dark matches.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody Rhodes, he's not on SmackDown at all, so the last thing of the dark match was a Cody Rhodes match.
Right. Yeah. No, they didn't have any. They did last match, and then they did like.
Dang it.
People were like taking like selfies and autographs on like how they go around the ringside at the end. They were doing that, and then it was over, and then we went around the back and watched all the people come out and stuff. So
I'm jealous. So do you know who the 5th member of each team is?
Well,
don't spoil it, but do you?
As I say,
I know one of them. I know for the men.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the men, I know one of them. I don't know the other one.
On which side?
Solo or Roman?
Solo.
Oh boy.
So you know the 5th member?
Yeah.
Put it in the chat.
And it is.
Are you gonna tell us? Are you gonna tell us?
I will if you want.
Jimmy?
I don't care. I mean, I don't know. I don't do
Go,
well
Brennan.
with spoilers.
It's Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
What? Big Bronson.
So that means
Reed?
Seth is gonna be on the other side then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seth
Probably.
is-
But they didn't like the second episode. He said like, oh, I don't want to be on his team because him and Roman beef, you know, like.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it'll probably happen like that.
That's cool.
Mm. Okay.
Interesting.
Which, guys, when you're watching this episode, it is something incredible is going to happen tonight. Joe, do you want to touch base on that?
So tonight we are doing another game show.
Heyo.
I know, right? We're we did some negotiating and we figured it out, and we got a game show set up for tonight, 7:00 Central. It's usually 8. Don't listen to that part. 7 Central, of course, live on I'd Flip That channel.
Mhm.
And we have the game is going to be the Masked Reseller.
Get to
And-
sing.
Well, we could see if they want to sing.
That's that show you sing on that. The mass.
I mean-
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, that's a masked singer, though.
Oh, this is the mass reset.
Yeah.
Come on, Jimmy, keep up.
I'm sorry. I gotta keep up.
And my 3 contestants that are trying to figure out who the masked reseller is, we've got Brendan, Ray,
Mm-hmm.
and Kristen.
Hey.
Those are my 3 people that hopefully we picked just the most obscure
Who's the
reseller.
mass reseller? I want to know.
Well,
Spoiler.
okay,
Is it 1 or 2? Is there going to be more than 1?
it's just one.
1.
Yep, just one. So-
Man or woman?
Wow.
You can't really.
Yeah, don't ruin your. Don't ruin
Yeah,
your.
You're
game
right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Ray.
Yeah.
Don't ruin your game show for Ray.
Right. Well, he just
I'm going
wants
to be
to-
one of the
He's
contestants.
gonna be one of the guests.
I'm
He
going
wants
to be
to
the
win.
contestant.
Hey, Brendan, don't listen. Ray, it's
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Is that push my headphones farther into my ears? I can't. I'm
Right.
not hearing.
Exactly.
You're better.
right. Yeah. So now we're into figuring out commercials and yeah. Well, Ray saw a picture of what Nicole's working on.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan, you didn't see that,
No,
so
Let me see if I
just,
can.
it'll be a good surprise for you, Brendan. Oh, I guess Ray's going to show you. So
I mean, I can.
Yeah.
Do
Right.
I? We're just full of spoilers today, right?
So you said
I mean, why not? Right.
7 Central. You were
7
saying.
Central.
Oh, so
It
8
was
for
gonna
me.
be like question based to figure out who they are. You're gonna ask them questions to help figure out who they are.
Yep. And they'll have like a yes or no thing, paddles or
A
board.
couple
thing.
little hints laying around.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
no,
Little
yeah.
clues.
The person.
Oh wow. Nice. Why do I have no on
Brendan,
top of my scroll?
that's you with the gun and the
and
crowbar.
the crowbar.
Man. That's it.
We have your logo now, Brendan. So that's why I was your logo.
Yeah, because I don't have stickers. I don't
Yeah,
have any stickers.
No.
So
I mean, you're in jail. You can't make.
that's
stickers.
true. That's very true.
So
That's very true.
And then
Joe-
of course, Ray's like, "Why is your head so?" And I go, "Because I have no hair.
I was gonna say that. Why is that top of your head split open?
I'm just
What's the money bags about?
Because Joe's beyond rich.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
he's
being
like
rich.
super rich.
Is Kristen part of the
You know that?
podcast?
See, look.
I missed something.
He is sometimes.
Yeah, Kristen is the 4th. She's the 3rd co-host. She's unofficially the 3rd. She's officially the unofficial
unofficially.
3rd co-host of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm really confused.
She comes. She comes on when she can.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
So, speaking of reselling and stuff, Nicole just sent me a text. She's looking for a new job, and somebody in Plymouth is looking for a live stream moderator and shipper for a multi-sport card breaks on Whatnot. Paying
Ooh, I wanna
26
do
an
that.
hour.
How much?
22 to 26 an hour.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Where's that at?
Well, you probably know, in Plymouth, Minnesota. You
I'm
probably
moving
drive by
to
there
Plymouth.
when you.
I'm gonna be a card breaker. I'll be in Minnesota in January. That sounds terrible, doesn't it?
Yeah. Why would you do
Well,
that?
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Going
Yeah.
ice
Going ice
fishing north.
Yep, I'm going ice fishing. Up
Are
at
you
Red
really?
Lake. Yeah.
You'll have to let us know when you're in town, because If you got,
Yeah, I don't know exactly when, but I was said anytime after the new year, so I gotta start looking at it. But
Joe will use his sled
Way
dogs
up
to come to
north.
you.
yep.
Wait. How do you go ice fishing? Like legit, like in the cartoons, you like stick a hole in the ice and you
Yeah.
just hope for the best.
You got like
Seriously,
a shanty. And all
Dude,
that.
you need to come up in January as well. We'll just crash Jimmy's
Nope.
party.
yeah,
You can. I'm gonna go ahead and say no on that one.
Come
Miss
on,
me on
Ray.
that.
I mean,
January in Minnesota? Are you kidding me?
We're
Yeah, I'm
not
not-
going to make you stand out in the cold. They have fish
I don't want to be cold.
it's not like you.
Period.
This
on ice.
so if I'm going
How
with
does the
Sony's
ice
dad,
not melt?
Because it's like 2 feet thick.
because it's like minus
yeah,
30
it's-
outside.
Yeah, it's exactly.
That's
No,
crazy.
but,
like, he
How are
has
the
a really-
fish living?
They don't care. They're doing their thing.
They're down there.
They just adapt to the water temperature.
That's crazy.
You gotta get some Canadian whiskey. Let's just be honest. You really bring it down from Canada, and you just.
True.
I'm just saying. And
True.
he actually, so Sonia's dad, my father-in-law, he has a really fancy trailer. It's like a camper.
Mhm.
You drive it out onto the ice.
That's so.
And it
dude,
has-
my-
It doesn't have axles. Each wheel's independent, and you just hit a button, and it drops down onto the ice.
The old
And
ice
you-
castle.
and so you're in a nice, warm camping trailer.
They have
All
things
right,
like
out there on the lake.
down for beds. You can sleep, TV, all that shit. It's
So
a
that's
big thing.
what I'm
And
doing.
the
First time ever.
20-foot long trailers that'll go out on the ice.
Yeah.
I've seen too many movies, man.
What?
Watch Grumpy Old Men and watch that
Mhm.
ice fishing. That's exactly how it's going to be.
Yep,
100%.
exactly.
Have you seen Grumpy Old Men?
It's a
Just watch
classic.
it.
It's a classic.
Go ice fishing.
One of
that's
my
what-
co-hosts is a grumpy old man.
It's me.
just for this
That's me.
week,
That's
though.
me.
Just this week.
Right. So bringing it back. So Jimmy, real quick. So let's backtrack with your Transformer deal, and you were dealing with the guy. So when you were negotiating, what that looked like, did he want more money, or you just took the first?
He was firm on his. I think he wanted 2,000. He was pretty firm on it, and I was able to talk him down 200, if I remember correctly. It's been a while.
Okay.
I've had these for a while.
Yeah.
He had an idea what he had. I don't think he was 100% sure. I could tell he was a little bit older, and he was just kind of like ready to move on from his collection and stuff like that. So.
Or the
I know
wife-
the reason why I bring that up.
Or the-
Last week I was at my local card shop, and the local card shop, it's like 70% cards, like 30% like just memorabilia. He's got like basketballs and helmets and signed and people come up to him all the time, and they're like, "Hey, I'm trying to sell this autographed, what's the Kirby Puckett, baseball, right?
Right.
It's like, how much would you give me for it?" And usually, because I was telling him, do you ever feel bad when, you buy something that is worth like way more, right? And he says, well, this is how I look at it. He says, if you ask him how much you want to get for it and then give you a number and you pay that number, then you're straight. If they say something like, well, I don't know how much it's worth, maybe we can look at it, then he says that's the responsibility on him to make sure that he gives them a fair offer of what the value of it is worth. So I'm bringing that up because Jimmy, going to these garage sales and, doing these YouTube channels.
Yep.
People in the comments, man. I mean, even in your TikToks, I'm sure people in the comments are just going nuts, like hating on you.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't bother me at all. It's what I do. Like, I can't let it bother me. The thing I go by is that I do when I'm at yard sales. If their prices are low and I won't try to talk them down. Like, if I think the price, if they say $10 for a $300 set of bobblehead, I'm not gonna say, hey, will you take 5 or will you take 8? I'm gonna give them the 10. I'm not gonna quit. So I mean, yeah, I got a huge profit on it, but I gave them the price they wanted. I'm comfortable with it. Like, here you go. So I won't ever negotiate if I feel like. But if they say $10 for something that's worth 30, I'm gonna see if I can get some money off of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
For
then there's a lot of people out there we know that they have their stuff, they have no idea, and they're like, "I'll take 40, and it's worth $15." So I mean, there's that other side of that. A lot of that stuff doesn't make my videos. Like I should leave it in there. I should always just leave that stuff in there.
Mhm.
I just recently had a video where I bought a vintage Cleveland Indians satin jacket, a starter,
Ooh.
and the guy wanted 40 for it, and I ended up talking him down like $3. But in the video, he's saying it's a whole $3, and
Wow.
people gave me. I know it was the people in the video or the guy in the video says it's $120 jacket. But it's not. It's a $70 jacket. It's all day a $70 jacket. Like there's nothing out there except for when he bought it new retail at $120.
It was $120.
So like people on TikTok, like Ray said, they're just I'm gonna sound awful. They're just taking some random old guy's word that this is a $120 jacket, but it's not. It's a $70 jacket. So I gave him more than half of what it's worth. I gave him just right around half of what it's actually worth. So I'm comfortable with that price, but I'm not.
Because you're gonna flip it quick.
Yeah, because it's gonna sell fast because it's a good jacket. But people are like, I'm the one that's a professional reseller that knows the value of stuff and knows how to look stuff up. This is just some guy telling you it's worth it, and you take his word, and you should give him the 40. And why you gotta rip him off? $120 jacket. It's not $120 jacket. No. Just because he said it is doesn't make it. So
Right.
I don't know. We're monsters, though. We know it.
We're monsters.
We're all monsters for.
I know that I always try to negotiate, even if I could get $3 cheaper. It doesn't matter what. Even if I think, and call me a monster. Yep. Even if I already think it's a good deal, I still will try to negotiate.
You're a monster.
Is that wrong? Is that wrong, Joe?
It is. It's totally wrong. You should be
Especially, going and buying these.
Asking for a lot less.
Even buying these Pokemon cards, like when I go to the shows.
Yeah.
Like there's they have stickers on them, right, with the price tags.
Yep.
Never pay sticker.
So those bobbleheads, you would have tried to get them for less. The ones that I talked about.
What'd you pay? Would you pay $10?
$10. And you knew they were worth $300 ish.
I would have said, would you take $8?
You would have done that.
I would have said, would you take $5? Just to see.
Yeah.
Wow. I won't do that. I'm not trying to. I was like $10 for a $300 item. Here we go. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, I would have done the same, honestly.
I guess depending on the day.
And they would have said no, and I still would have paid the $10.
Yeah, exactly. But you just never know.
Right.
I know, but I mean, that's what and that's what I love about what we do. I always gotta say this: everybody do what you're comfortable doing, and what I'm not gonna say you guys are wrong. I'm just like, I'm happy with that. Like
I get that.
That deal's done. Like,
should have asked them. Would be like, will you take 11?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
can I give you
here's mine.
And he still would have gotten hate on TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah. Joe's 100% right. You could have said, "Hey, you know what? These are actually worth a lot more. Let me give you 100," and you would have still got killed on TikTok.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jimmy, when you go, how many weeks out of the year do you go to garage selling?
Well, let's take a peek into my depression I got going on right now. All right.
Okay.
I feel that.
There's no sales right now.
I get that. So would you say
I'm miserable sitting at home right now?
I'm dying.
25 weeks out of the year.
I have no idea. I probably start up. Is it 25? Half the year.
52 weeks.
I would say
in a year.
I'd say like 5 months out of the year. 5,
really?
6 months.
You only think 5? I think I get about 7. April through October.
Yeah.
So let's say, Brendan, you get
April.
5 months. 5 months out of the year, that's 20 weekends, right?
Well, I mean, they got them during the week now too.
I'm comfortable with
25.
25.
All right. How many yard sales per weekend do you think you go to?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, because they've been really like cutting back around here. So
like on average, Jimmy.
During peak season, because I start out here in Ohio, Ohio's for pickers because the sales are popping on Thursday, and it's all the way through Saturday and sometimes Sunday. But I'm Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm out picking all day, and I would guess
On
during
one
peak.
weekend.
So the math would
On
be I have
average.
to say during peak, it's probably 70 plus.
70 plus a weekend.
Yeah, Thursday through Saturday. Yeah.
So let's say you're doing 70. Let's just say 70.
But let's say early October, it might be half that. 'cause
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no
Okay.
sale.
So let's say 50.
Let's say 55.
55. Let's
Okay.
say you save $1
Oh, I
on
get
each
you.
one. All right.
Here we go.
So
Yep.
$55 a weekend times 25 for the year, you would have saved $1,375
That's
In
so
a
much.
year?
Come on, Jimmy.
in a year.
That's
In a year, that would have been enough,
much is
almost
that a-
enough
how
to
much is
buy a G1 Transformer collection.
Exactly.
That's so much money to go to Chili's with. Can't even
So
talk,
much
man.
money to go to Chili's with. And that's how I look at it, Jimmy, because I still work a full-time job, right?
Yep.
And so some of the stuff that we do is like we do contract work for auto auctions, and one of the things that we do is detailing cars at these auto auctions, right? And we don't make a lot when we're detailing a car, but when we're detailing 100 cars a week, with so many locations detailing 100 cars a week, that adds up. And so that's how I look at it. You're not going to be a millionaire selling a candy bar for $1 million. You're going to be a millionaire by selling a candy bar a million times.
We're talking about totally different margins, man. Candy bars, your margin is 30 cents if you're lucky.
Right.
I mean,
but if you're selling 1 million of them, though.
yeah, exactly.
I know, but when my margins on if I could find 100 of those bobbleheads at $10 a piece, I'm doing it. But I can't find 100 of those bobbleheads at $10 a piece. I just can't.
And that more of a
only
reason
found one
why
in
you should
here.
negotiate, because some days are going to be better than others.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some
Now-
weekends. Yeah, it's just like.
Let me know, guys, in the comments. Let me know down below. Are we scumbags? And that's just in a
You
year.
are, Ray. You are. Matter of fact, I'm leaving.
After 5 years, if you do that, Jimmy, that's $6,875.
Yeah, I'm a stubborn old jackass, is what I am. And you're not gonna change me, but I do negotiate. 100% I negotiate.
Oh, I know you
I'm
do.
not negotiating on that. I got you though, but I
got
understand the math. I understand it.
Yeah, and I mean,
can't make myself do it.
trust me, Jimmy, trust me. I probably would do the same thing. Like if I saw like a Charizard card that I know is worth like $2,000, and the dude he's got it for like $100. I'm like, I couldn't get that $100 out of my wallet.
That's why I
quick
kind of
enough,
want to
you know what I
reframe
mean?
the question, because I knew that these were valuable bobbleheads. I've been looking for this bobblehead. Like I know to look for them. If you, Ray, came across that Charizard that you've been looking for it and it's worth $300, and some person says I'll take 10 for it, you're still gonna, even though you know to buy it, you're still gonna say, "Will you take 8?"
It depends on the situation, right? Like if there's, I would probably still do it.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. That's interesting.
Let me know, guys. Am I a scumbag?
I mean, I agree. Shoot your shot. It doesn't hurt to ask. I agree, but I just
Right.
don't need to. In my mind, I don't need to.
You know what's funny too? You say shoot your shot. Anytime that I've ever gotten a raise at my jobs, any job, right? It's always been because, hey, I approach my supervisor and be like, hey, I need to get a raise, and tell them like why and like all this stuff. It's never been like I'm just gonna get a raise. You know what I mean? So it's like, what's the saying? Closed mouths don't get fed.
I don't know. I don't know that saying.
You
But
know
I
that
learned
saying?
it now. Closed mouths don't get fed, but they breathe loud. Open mouths breathe loud.
They breathe loudly. Yeah.
So I got a question for you, Jimmy. Have
All right.
you noticed your eBay and just the whole reselling thing for you just explode more now that you have Sonia helping you?
Oh yeah.
list and package and source.
Oh, that's a. So we haven't talked about this, but Sonia has gone back to work.
Oh, has she?
Oh, okay.
She has gone.
Is it because she has to work with you? Is that why?
That's why I am the worst possible
quit.
boss you could
knew it.
like coworker boss you could imagine.
I knew it.
I rage, I scream and yell all day. Like there are many days of just crying down here. No, this season was coming, and last season was rough this time of year. You know, there was no picking, and the business was losing money slowly, like trickling slowly, and it just didn't make sense for
your business or what?
The eBay business.
Gotcha.
With it covering all of our bills, like every single bill, it was slow. It wasn't, doom, but it was slowly, like we could just see it going down. The business was not. We were not making money anymore. Like it wasn't able to save us money. We were basically living paycheck to paycheck, doing it that way. So we haven't talked about it a lot, but yeah, she is currently working. So it did help though. The numbers were better with both of us, but I don't know. It was like there wasn't enough inventory. Now, like this year might have been different, but we just don't know. Like we just had to. We couldn't keep going that way. That makes sense. So.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did, early on, I built up a lot of capital for the business. So that's kind of, I run my business like an actual, like I keep track of the business funds and the capital was depleting slowly. So we were like, man, this just isn't what we thought. A big part of my plan was YouTube doing a little bit better. And YouTube, I make $200 a month on YouTube. Like it's not, I should have never made that part of the plan, but it was. And it's just.
Gotcha.
$200 a month helps, but it's not enough to cover what we need.
Right.
So what are you doing to get that number back up? Are you for the reselling?
Right now I'm not. Like we're comfortable now with her with her having a paycheck, and I'm like on cruise control. Like we're very now it's very comfortable where we're at. Now we're saving. The business is able to, if her checks go towards bills, and then I only have to put so much towards bills, we are able to, again, rapidly build that. The business is what I call it, capital back up, and it's thriving again. The business is thriving again. So
there you go.
How it is. So to answer, it was great. It was all mentally. I'm struggling the most. Like. I joked, like me and Sonia get along great. We had fun. We were laughing, joking around all the time, having fun. But so me being down here and working by myself every day, it sucks. Like I can't. I'm less motivated. I get what I need to get done every day, and then I'm out of here. I'm out of the basement. I'm back upstairs with the dogs, or I have my boys that live with me, so I'm talking to them or whatever. So it's been a change, but. It's still doing great. The eBay is doing great for what I needed to.
Yeah. Brendan, what do you do to kind of like help with that loneliness of being a full-time reseller?
Man, usually winter, man. I'm lucky because I live so close to a bin, so I go to bins more.
Yeah, I got bins too.
I'm 10 minutes from the bin, so I try to source more and stuff because like. I work more at night, and then, man, if you work late into the night by yourself, like long hours, that sucks. So I'm like, if I don't get around people or like out of the house, man, I'll go crazy. So I try to be around other people.
Jimmy, what are you doing to get out of the house and being around other people?
Nothing right now.
Nothing?
I have some close. If you guys don't mind, I'll shout out Mother-Daughter Thrift on YouTube. They're out. They live about 30 minutes from me. Really good friends that Sonia and I have made out here. So like we go hang out with them. We'll meet them at the bins. We have bins that are about 20 minutes away. We'll go hang out with them there. And then we go out we have this wine bar that's nearby that they do a singo where it's bingo with music. And so the songs play and then you fill in and so we'll sing along to the songs and play bingo and joke around. Stuff like that. Just social, but I don't go to the bins a lot. I'm not a huge bins guy. Like, I don't love the bins.
Mhm.
I'll go if I need inventory or if I want to go hang out and I'm bored.
Right.
But I don't like. I'd much rather go to garage sales and estate sales. And
Oh yeah. Me too.
Now, how are your bins? Are they good?
my bins are amazing.
Yeah.
Anybody ever felt like traveling and they want to go to an amazing bin store, come visit me. I mean, not busy. A busy day at our bins is 30 people shopping. But I've been in there days where there's 12 people shopping and there's 10 rows of bins and they're over.
You need to learn to love the bins.
I mean,
What the hell?
I have friends that go there at our bins. I have friends that go every single day. They're clothes shoppers and they're pulling heat I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, I bet.
But they also like we don't want anybody to know how good our bins are.
Exactly. Yeah. It's one.
They're
of those
amazing
things.
though. They're the best bins I've ever been to, hands down by far. There's no elbow fighting. There's plenty of room to shop. There's ton. I just found. You ever heard of 21st Century Toys?
Mm-mm.
Yes.
I just found a helicopter, a huge helicopter. I mean, it's huge. 21st Century Toys. It's a $500 helicopter if it's brand new. I found most of it. It's not 100%. I should get $200 for the parts that I have, just sitting right there on the top of the bin. I'll walk up, grab
People didn't
it.
know what it was.
And how much you pay for it?
It's $2 a pound, so I probably paid. It's a little bit. It's probably $4, $4 to $5 I paid for it.
Dang.
By weight.
So, Jimmy, do you just find things for the bins to flip on eBay, right?
Yeah.
Could you have? I know that you hate Whatnot, but since your bins are so good, could you see maybe like the opportunity to buy like plush and stuff from the bins and flip it on there?
Ohio
Or
has
just
this weird law about plush, so you don't see plush in our bins.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Ohio has a weird
thrift
law.
stores have a weird law about plush. It's a thing. So our bins cannot put plush in the bins. They have to be sanitized or something weird like that.
Oh.
Because the guy who I know, the manager, he's like, yeah, we can't put bins. Like they slip through the cracks every once in a while, but we're supposed to pull them and get rid of them.
Wow.
So there's no real plush to pick. I don't. As far as me hating Whatnot hates me because I've tried, and it always comes back to with Whatnot. What it always comes back to is there is a cost of goods, and if I'm getting $2 an item, I'm not making enough to justify my cost of goods, even if it's a quarter. To me, it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I've run auctions and my stuff doesn't get bid up, and I'm lucky to have one bidder in there, and it's just not worth my time, my cost of goods, my cost of my box that I have to use.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not worth it.
That's good that you know that, and know what it costs, because some people. Because I see people on there, and I'm like, man, there's no way that they're making any money.
It's the topic that a lot of people don't like to talk about on like these live auctions, but it has to be addressed. As like for me, it has to be addressed. Like it was great early on when I got rid of my old inventory that was stale and just sitting there, and I didn't really worry about what I had into it. But the second I started having to pick and look for items for Whatnot, it was not an option anymore. Mm-hmm. Like it was just not. It wasn't for me. I know there's people that are successful and there's people doing great on there. And, it's a big part of it is putting in the work to grow that, Yeah. And to me, it's not worth it when eBay does fine for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use plush?
Oh, I sell plush for sure, yeah.
So why don't you talk to the Goodwill guy and make a deal and be like, just throw it in a box, just buy a big pallet of all the plush.
I should ask him what they do with it.
Because they got to take them somewhere.
I'd have to look more into that. Like he was like, because even when you go to like a thrift store, like the plush have a weird tag on it that basically says that it's been sanitized or something like that. Yeah. Really? Wow. I don't know if they. Yeah. So like man. You don't hardly ever see any plush in our bins, and it kind of sucks. But it's not like I don't know.
Just go dumpster dive and pick them all out of the dumpster.
Yeah, right.
Put them somewhere, right?
Talk about bed bugs, man.
I mean, if you go to Goodwill they're there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's just the outlet, they're not there.
Yeah.
that's so weird.
Yeah,
What
like
were you
I
gonna
found a
say,
huge
Brennan?
Pokemon collection, plush Pokemon collection at my Goodwill here in town once before.
Nice.
Ooh.
Like the vintage ones, or like the.
There were a couple
And
Build-A-Bears,
any
and
of
there
it
was
sells good.
yeah. Now that's some that was some I've already sold them. I don't remember exactly what. I don't. There wasn't any great ones in there, but there was a couple $20 ones and $25 ones.
The reason why those sell good is because there's so many Pokemon, right?
Yep.
And they can't make like all of them. So like here and there they'll make a Pokemon and that's someone's favorite Pokemon, and then it's like, oh, I haven't seen a Psyduck Pokemon in such a long time, or this huge Cubone plush right here in such a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I'll go and say Whatnot's actually reached out to me and asked me to partner with them.
Ooh,
And it's
there
in the
you go,
work.
Jimmy.
It's in the works, but I just don't know if I'm going to do it. Like I don't like.
As long as they give you like a bump, like for extended amount of time, and get maybe that can trickle
that's
in.
where we're at. They've offered to do that for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about that or not, but I haven't acted on it. I actually had a meeting with my, the guy that represents whoever my guy is. And, I'm supposed to eventually work on it, but I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not for everybody in live selling.
It's not. So do you do any of the live selling on the other ones like District?
I don't, because it's Android.
No, I think they have a. Oh, you have an Android? That's what you're saying?
Like I've looked into it, and right now I still really can't. Like I was supposed to be part of the raid train that Dibbit had, but I can't because the old Android.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't even sell anything because you have an Android phone?
I've sold on shopcommons.net. Hey, shout out Kevin.
Yeah.
I've sold bulk lots on there. I've sold quite a few bulk lots on there. I did really good. I just ran out of stuff to put in lots. So I have sold on District on like I had some I bought it at the bins. It was a bag full of like horror movie and sci-fi movie DVDs.
Oh, nice.
And the person had taken them out of the cases and put them in like these really nice plastic sleeves that you could put they put the cover art in there too.
Oh, that's cool.
Had the
like in a binder?
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking, there was hundreds of DVDs in there. I mean, it was just, and at my bins, stuff like that, I'd be like, if they'll sell you the whole bag for $5. I bought the whole bag.
Nice.
$5. And I put that, I just put on District late, I did a video, fan through them. And I said, for a reseller, all you have to do is buy the cases and put them in a case. Good to go. And, I got like $130 for all of them.
That's awesome.
There were hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And so like stuff like that, that's when I'll source. Like I think Tim over the years, he was here visiting when we were, and Carrie, American Arbitrage, they were here when I bought those. And Tim was like, "What did you get for those?" He's like, "I was there when you bought them." He's like, "I remember when you bought those. Like, what'd you get for them?" And I was like, "I got like $130." He's like, "No way." So yeah, that to me was a no-brainer when I bought them. I was like, "I'm gonna put these on Shop Commons." So
that's awesome.
Nice.
Get rid of all of them.
Are you planning on? Go ahead. Sorry, Brennan. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's a good way to get rid of all of them quick.
There's been a lot of work to try to do it by itself.
There
could have been a really good DVD. There could have been one that was worth a lot of money in there. But you know what? I was like, what? I'm literally that's my personality. Like, I want another reseller to get these and make a bunch of money. Like that's what I want. Like I don't want to mess with it, but I would love to hear that someone else bought it and did good.
Yeah,
and that's why you need to go to the bins more often.
True, very true.
Come on, let's go.
I will accept that I have some. Like this summer was so good picking. I have so much to list. I have.
Yeah, I
so much to list.
Sound like Joe.
Yeah, I have stuff from 3 years ago still.
I don't have that much, but I have.
Well, I also have, for a long time I was working full time, so I had a regular job too, so I just.
Speaking of Joe, did you get my text that I sent you yesterday about your story?
I'm pointing the wrong way again. Yeah.
Story of Joe telling us about his pizza delivery stories.
Oh, you sent a text about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the group, I think.
I said, Joe, you should tell one of your pizza delivery stories today. Oh,
Okay.
you got one? All right, hold on.
I got a good one.
Here, let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the new segment of the show, the segment that has been sweeping the nation. Is Joe's Pizza Stories. Joe, take it away.
The pizza files.
The pizza file. Well, I don't know. We might not need to say that. That's probably still up in the air.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
Right. All right. Yeah, there's so many good ones. Okay. This was like mid 90s, late 90s. I've delivered to these kids, and every time I go, there's like a group of 4 of them, maybe 5. And they're always like, I get to their house, I get to the door, and they just act weird and silly and stuff. And they give me the money, and they'll like say, like the stupid, keep the change, you filthy animal, stupid stuff like that. I get that so many times.
How old are these kids?
How old are you in the mid 90s, Joe?
Well, I mean, I'm only 27, so
you don't look that old. That you're calling anybody kids in the mid 90s.
Well,
it could have been me.
Right.
Joe was like 2 years old in the mid 90s.
So this night, it's dark. I mean, it's probably midnight. I don't even know. I pull up. There's one person sitting just in a chair underneath a basketball hoop, kind of, and it's like an L-shaped driveway. There's a guy just standing there, standing up, dancing like a ballerina or something, just in a little circle. Meanwhile, the other 2 or 3 guys are farther at the edge of the driveway, like there's rocks, and they're like making patting noises and stuff like that, and just saying, I don't even know what they were chanting. They were chanting weird stuff. I have no idea. I walk up, and the one guy is still dancing around, and like he's chanting something as well. And the one kid who's sitting in the chair is just sitting there or whatever. And I walk up, and it was cash at the time, and whatever they paid me and stuff. And as I walk back, and they're just, I don't know what their whole thing was. All of a sudden they just yell, like, oh, the kid that I gave the pizza to at the chair goes, "Pizza's for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles." And then they all just ran into the house. And I'm like, what? Okay. That's
wow.
Like you're supposed to know what that means.
I didn't get the kids patting on the rocks, making noises while the one's dancing in a circle. And
they knew that one day you would tell this story on a podcast. That's why they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Remember the 90s when like it was like one year there was like it was Gregorian chants were like in like they were like big into songs and stuff like that. Maybe that's what they're doing.
There were what kind of chants?
Gregorian chants. It's like
what is that?
It's like how do you say? It's like not like a yodel, but it's like a. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to send it to you. I can't really describe
like the didgeridoo, like the.
We need an example right now, Brendan.
I can't. I can't.
You know what he's talking about, Jimmy?
No idea. I didn't even know how he's. What he's
I have a feeling I know what you're talking about, but yet
it's like you know, like that Enya music, like Enya and Yanni, like the.
It's like
like that. Yeah. It was like big for like a year. I don't know. Maybe they're doing some change.
No, I got you. Yeah, Enya. I remember Enya. That was. What about the dancing?
Yeah, like the ballerina dancing.
You sure it wasn't just you out there dancing? And maybe you got it reversed. The story is you were the one dancing. The pizza guy came up to you. You're just remembering it backwards.
Right. Well, no, it's. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't me. I get that. There was a lot of different. I mean, I've gone there, and they just had like. I mean, again, teenage kids, parents were just raging huge parties at this house.
Hey, was the Noid still popular when you were at Domino's?
Yes, there's actually a picture somewhere of Nicole wearing the Noid outfit.
You still have the Noid?
No. I don't know where it went. We have a new owner now or whatever, but I asked the old owner, and he's just like, "Oh, I don't know. I probably threw it away." And I'm just like,
"Oh no!"
Full costume. I mean, talk about masked reseller right there.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, huh? The Noid. Sorry, I remember Domino's 90s. That was the Noid. That was when the Noid was big.
Yep. Right. Yeah, every
Yeah,
once in a
that,
while, I find like the little guys, the little PVC guys, or the, a plush.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's kind of coming back a little bit if you watch commercials. So
the Noid.
mm-hmm.
Is he? They're running him back. All right. I mean, everything's coming back. The 90s is Y2, right? Late 90s and Y2K is what's hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
those are great years.
Jerseys, man, jerseys.
Like football and basketball, and
yeah, they're like you got like girls wearing the jersey, like big oversized baggy jerseys.
I just found a starter Charles Woodson Raiders jersey.
Ooh.
and a Tim Brown. I paid $5 a piece for them. Heck,
that's awesome.
There's a picture of Nicole and I back when we, again, mid 90s. She's wearing a Raiders jersey, and just like, and I think it was Charles Woodson was the number.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't have the name on the back, but
24.
Yeah.
24.
I'm just like, oh man, right? And I'm wearing an Allison Chains t-shirt that easy $700. Right
oh
now.
Yeah, that shirt that you had on. I was like, dude, you know how much that's worth now?
Oh, it just
the Raiders. Why the Raiders though?
I had it. She wore it. I don't know.
Because they're bad. They're
they were
thugs.
they were.
I mean, where I grew up in the 90s, the Raiders were gang affiliation.
They still are.
What that meant.
They still are.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Gang affiliated. Yeah. Well, Jimmy, what was I gonna say? JoJo.
Right.
You want to plug your coloring book or the Consignment Chat's coloring book?
All right, you guys. Go to Amazon.com. Type in Fearless Reseller Coloring Book. 50% of the proceeds go to Diane, Fearless Living, their organization that they have. Lots of pages. I mean, look at that, Jimmy. You can color some dresses when you're done listing your stuff. When you got that free time now.
Color.
Yeah, the best one for you though, Jimmy. Here we go.
Oh no, I used to have it right here.
I don't even have it marked.
Got my coloring book right here. See, right
Look
here.
at that.
There we go.
On cue, so I'm not making that up.
But so we sponsor.
Oh boy.
There you go. You can color my suit.
Can you add a picture of a Game Boy in there and put "is not a toy" above it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we'll do that in the next.
What do you mean?
The next book.
That's my sensitive subject.
Your sensitive subject?
Yeah, when I was on the game show. I don't remember or hold grudges or get mad about
What happened?
when the subject was toys, and I don't remember the question, but the answer was Game Boy, and I was like, Game Boy's not a toy; it's a handheld.
It's a video game.
It's a video game. And so I was like, I'm never coming on this show again.
Make sure Nicole knows that. So she's the one who came up with that question, by the way.
I'm totally joking, but I remember that. I was like, this is not a toy. But then someone Googled it, and it's like the Game Boy toy or something like that. I was all, it's not a toy.
Well, you know what's funny?
I still won though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The original.
Ken still talks about how he should have won.
Original Nintendo, the entertainment system. The reason why it's called the Nintendo Entertainment System is because during the time the video games were like on a downward, they were down, and so they didn't want to call it a video game because it would have sold poorly. So they called it an entertainment system, and it was packaged with that Rob the Robot.
Look at that! Look at that!
Boy,
I had that one with Rob the Robot
and the NES up there.
Yeah,
on his toy
I have
shelf.
a Super Nintendo, Jimmy.
It's
toy
shelf. Yeah.
Toys up there.
Yep,
There
the
you go.
toys.
There you go. Well, guys, Jimmy, thank you so much for coming on This Week in
thank you.
Reselling.
Yeah.
Make
for
sure
having
you
Never
give
take me
Jimmy.
serious, people.
Yeah.
The last thing I was gonna add, I was like, the only thing that coloring book needs on Joe's page is Joe in a Charles Woodson jersey. It says gang affiliated in the back.
Yes.
That's all you need.
Joe might be gang affiliated for
Ooh,
sure.
Joe is gang
Jimmy, thank
affiliated.
you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the After Dark episode with Jimmy Old School Flips, where things stop. Jimmy quits being polite and starts getting real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my name is Ray.
I'm Joe. I flip that.
I'm Brendan, Big Time Flips.
Who am I? I don't know. I don't
You
remember.
whoever you want to be.
Flips.
Whoever you want to be.
Jimmy Old School Flips, and we'll catch you guys on
The next one.
the flip side. Brendan,
Flip side.
come on.
Yeah.
man.